Eppy Shop. We're getting a roadkill on. Putting nice parts on a shitty vehicle. Alright, so I ordered me a fancy pants Amazon aluminum radiator. The other one was just a free donor. It was full of gunk. It wasn't cooling very well. I still didn't pay very much for this. I've got like, I think it was 260 bucks shipped. And you're gonna see it for the first time just like me. It's supposed to be a direct bolt in for the F100s. Gimme. Hey! It actually looks pretty nice. Actually looks quite nice. Gimme. Alright, yeah, that looks alright. So check it out. Look bad at all. All the welds look decent. FedEx didn't beat the shit out of it when they were shipping it. But yeah. I guess we'll get that other one out, get this one installed, and see how it goes. Oh yeah. I think that's gonna be more good. I mean, this one didn't leak or anything, but it was full of all kinds of crud. It didn't have a shroud on it, so that probably wasn't really helping the fan cool the way that it should be. But definitely being full of shit wasn't helping. So this should work more good, yes. Work more good. Oh man. Just the weight difference alone, man. That copper boy is heavy. Let's see how she lines up. Fits in between the rails. Ooh, don't drop it. Well, bolt hole's actually gonna line up. I'll be damned. That's one started. I'll get one on the other side here real quick. Yeah, it's fitting all right for a cheap eBay unit, or an Amazon unit anyways. I'll take it, man, so long as this thing doesn't leak. It'll be in business. I'll take that. Oh, that's way nicer. That's too nice for the engine that it's cooling, to be honest. That's too nice for the entire truck. We'll get this bolted down, plumbed in. I do have the lower radiator hose that I cut on its first maiden voyage. I think the reason that happened, and I put that on forever ago, so if I remember correctly, when I bought it, it was way too long. So then that would be on me cutting it too short. So we'll get this all bolted down, plumbed in, filled up, and I do have just a little bit of wiring here to do. But we'll end up probably cutting these connectors off and stealing this pigtail off of the other one, or I believe it actually came with its own pigtail setup. So we'll see what I figure out with that. But let's get this plumbed in. Already got a gallon of concentrate in there and a gallon of distilled water. Thus far, no leaks. Just keep on keeping on. I don't think any leaks anyways. I made a little bit of a mess with my initial pour, so it's kind of spilled some right into the fans, but I think we're good. If it's leaking through the core, which will really make me mad to the core. We're good. This is me being messy. It was just me being messy. Got her filled up. Got her wired in. I ran out of gas from a heat shrink. I'm going to have to find a lighter somewhere. And I accidentally pulled my black wire out of its connector. It slid back in. So we're going to see if it kicks on when it gets up to temp. But we're going to fire this thing up and let it do just that. fans are wired reverse of what the other fans are wired, so they're pushing instead of pulling, so I'm gonna have to change my wires around. But we're gonna pull it up front and see if I can tighten up that flange, because I got a little header leak. Do that socket so I've got functioning taillights. And I mean, technically this thing's drivable. It's got a fuel leak, but you know, that's not important. That's not important. God dang critter crawling up in here. Dang it. You got this taillight done yet? I've adjusted the transmission. I've tightened my header flange.
Yeah, well,
all of my headers. I rewired the fan, and you still don't have just.
Yeah, and I've seen how you wire.
It works though. You don't know.
You're a thinker.
You don't know. First official fill up. Take off that fitting and put some fresh thread tape in there. I don't know if it's going to stop the leak or not, but it was a nice thought. Oh, we still got a fuel leak, unfortunately. It's a weld, not a fitting, but it is what it is. That's $5,000. This sounds good. This fucking bitch sounds good. So, I've decided to take Sandy home for the night, which means I'm taking her to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see how this goes. I got like, I think a 10-mile drive home. I think it's like maybe a 10-mile drive to work. So, could be a testament. It definitely needs an alignment. We got the fuel leak, but fuck, I'm driving this thing. I'm driving it. Damn, this feels good. Fucking just trucking along at 35 mile an hour right now. Expired tags. We got insurance. We got expired tags. I got an appointment to the Secretary of State, but my tags are definitely 3 years expired. So pushing my fucking luck right now. But we're driving it, man. We're driving it, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. made it. Probably got like 2 more miles. I drove this bitch home. That fucking mini spool chirps if you don't slip that clutch just right. It fucking chirps up and down in gears. That's is what it is. Sure does sound good. No mishaps. Still running a good temp, good oil pressure. Go guys, 4:30 in the morning, making her first trip to work. See how it goes. She's idling. Guess that's me. It means it's a good first take. Make this shit happen. Go to fucking work. Well, she made it to work, and I'm off early. I'm gonna take her to get an alignment done because she pulls to the right uber hard. So off we go. Boy, did I forget how good it feels to not only drive this truck, but crack the smoker's windows open. Dang, man, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm in heaven right now. I'm just in heaven just a little bit. Maybe a little bit too much. This is nice. This is nice. Oh yes, just left R&R Auto. New wheel and tire place here in town. Got her aligned, steering wheel straight. See if she tracks a little bit straighter. I wouldn't say it was pulling hard. I mean, it was pulling to the left, but I wouldn't say hard. But take her out, put a few miles on her, and go home and get some relax. And maybe I might just drive this thing the rest of the night. I'm really, really enjoying myself. Bridges. Alright guys, I'm finally home on her like official maiden voyage. Probably put like 50 miles or so on this thing today. And pretty much smooth as butter. The only issue I'm having is that I got just a little pinhole leak on my fuel tank. Ain't no thing. I'll eventually get it coated anyways. That should take care of that leak. I am gonna have to notch or modify my cross member right here because it's rubbing my drive shaft. So that's a no-go. Other than that, everything back here is good. And then I do have just a tiny little coolant leak. It's actually coming out of, I reused one of my original fittings and it's seeping up there. It's a small leak, but it is definitely a leak, so that's, you know, something we need to address. Other than that, man, everything's working flawlessly. It feels like maybe it might want a little more timing, maybe. So in the next week or so, I'll get the timing gun on it, give it a couple more degrees, see how she acts. But other than that, man, I can't complain. And as I've expressed through this entire video, I'm stoked, man. Stoked. 3 years of just wrenching and moving and buying other projects that got in the way and shit, and finally drove this thing. Finally drove this thing. And again, I mentioned this in the previous video, I had not done like any of this stuff before, basically. Like, I've always been like wrenching on stuff and working on shit, but never like full-blown, built and modified engines and suspension and welding, and all of this was new to me. It was, my first time. So go build some cool shit. I'm probably gonna throw some like pictures and maybe some throwbacks of the build as it progressed. And I'm out. Deuces. Watch this. I'm just gonna come back. So we're on first. I'm just gonna cram this dude forward. It's gonna bypass reverse, go straight to second, and then I can just come back and grab third. So again, we're in first, second, third. Check that, dude. It would have taken me 3.
To mean that much to you. I've been first and last. Look at how the time goes fast.